All right, guys, what's going on? And I want to make sure, because I didn't want to do this at first. I thought, oh man, you know. But you know what? Whatever. Everybody's a fucking adult around here, right? So just about every year, I give out a Channel of the Year award. Believe it or not, I do it just about every year. Boxing channel, by the way, boxing channel, just to be specific, or someone that talks boxing. Keep in mind, this is simply my opinion, right? I'm not stating this as a matter of fact or anything like that. This is just my opinion. And obviously, since it's my opinion, it's obviously based on the channel I really enjoyed this year. Now, look, I watch a lot of channels on here. I really do, man. And this is not about saying that this channel is better than that channel. It's not really about competition like that. Okay, that's not what this is. So I don't want anybody to take this, the wrong way whatsoever. Right? First of all, there's a lot of channels here that I like and that I watch at a regular basis. I don't comment on every video. I thumbs up most of them, but I don't comment on every video. I don't always put good vid. That gets old after a while. You know what I mean? It's a good vid. It just gets old after a while. You know what I mean? But I'll post it here and there, and I'll post some comments here and there. And sometimes, weeks pass and weeks pass, so I don't catch every single video. Right? And if, for people I'm subscribed to, there's every channel, a video that you believe should have caught my interest and I didn't post a comment. Maybe I watched it, maybe I didn't. More than likely I did, but it's a lot of channels out there. You know what I mean? But if there's ever something specific, you watch my channel, you think, this should have caught his interest, you can always, send me a message, comment on one of my videos, let me know, etc. Right? So it's just, just putting that out there. But here's to me, in my opinion, and before I give you the boxing channel of the year, okay, because DStyle's giving out awards here, okay, and no, there's not going to be a trophy, and I'm mailing out a trophy. There's no cash prize for this. Nobody's winning anything, right? But I got some more shit coming out. Fucking video of the year, the whole nine, right? And it's all going to be, of course, boxing related. But before I give out this award, right? Keep in mind, this has nothing to do with who I personally like, as far as like as a person or anything like that, right? I'm obviously not going to pick somebody I fucking despise, obviously, right? Because if I despise them, it's probably their content. In all honesty, because we don't really know each other on here. We just, most of us anyway, we know our content. That's all we know. So there's a lot of channels out there. There's a lot of channels out there. This has always been one of my favorite channels, and a lot of this stuff, man, fluctuates, man. If I would have decided to do this next week, who knows? I may have picked a different channel altogether, right? Altogether. Now, I've known this channel for a while. I've been subscribed for a long time, even when he had his first channel. I've done collabs with this channel before. So I know, I don't know him personally, but I've been watching his content. I know his content, right? So just putting that out there. But I just want to really give a shout out to all the channels collectively, everybody that, takes time out of their day to put on boxing content or commentary, news, etc. I just want to give a shout out to everybody's effort and all that. That's very important, right? So the channel of the year is DStyleBoxing. Now, I'm kidding. I'm joking, right? But anyway, I'm not going to give myself a reward, all right? Plus, this has not been, I repeat, this has not been a good year as far as DStyleBoxing with boxing content, because I was not really into boxing that much this year, if I'm being extremely honest, right? But let me talk about this. I'm going to talk about the channel, and you're going to know who I'm talking about. Most of you are going to know, right? First of all, content delivery is there, the whole nine, but boxing channel, very specifically, right? It's not exclusive to, but it's very centralized on heavyweight boxing, right? And one reason I decided to say, you know what, I think this is the boxing channel of the year here on YouTube. And one of the reasons I personally thought to myself, I think this guy is the channel of the year. Number one, he's been very consistent. I know this is a 2016 thing, but stay with me. He's been very consistent with heavyweight boxing for quite a while. Yes. This guy was talking heavyweight boxing before anybody was. I mean, he would bring up stuff about the number 8 ranked guy and the number 6 ranked guy and an up-and-coming this, up-and-comer that, about fights that happened over there in Germany and nobody really watched them, but he found the stream for it and he covered it. Press conferences, interviews, giving his perspective, his thoughts, things of that nature, right? And he made heavyweight boxing a little more interesting than what it really was for a while, right? And I have to admit, even myself as a boxing fan, I neglected the heavyweight division for a while. But as you know, there's been a resurgence in the heavyweight division, in 2016. Overall, I think it was a terrible year for boxing, but it was a very good year for the division of heavyweights. It wasn't perfect. We had a lot of issues with the heavyweight division. Right? Some fights were canceled. Some guy was popped but not popped, and then, the whole nine. We don't got to go through all that. And even that specific case, he covered that, and I think he did a great job. And it kind of just worked out because this year where heavyweight boxing was, really rocking and really represented the sport. And it's going to, and it's just like that. 2017 is, continuing. It's segueing off of 2016. So if there's one thing DStyle appreciates, is passion. I appreciate people when someone is passionate about something. It's not about how many views you get, how many thumbs up you get, how many subscribers you have. When you are passionate about something, that matters. When you talk about something, whether it's the talk of the town or not, that matters. When you represent something, like you say, heavyweight division is what I love. I'm still going to talk a lot of other boxing stuff, but overall, I'm going to focus on this. Even when the heavyweight division was not that popular, that matters. And given the fact that this has been a big year for heavyweight, without further ado, right, DStyleBoxing is about to announce the winner of the 2016 DStyleBoxing Award for Channel of the Year. That actually sounds kind of cool, but it doesn't mean shit really, but it sounds cool. Okay, and that's all that really matters. And again, just to disclose, there's no cash prize for this. There's no reward. You don't get shit for this. Okay, all you get is a shout out of this video. That's all you're gonna get. Right? But anyway, this shit's not sounding prestigious at all, is it? But here's the thing. I want to give a shout out, and I want to just say that to me, the channel of the year was Mr. Boxing Today 2, right? But Mr. Boxing Today, I think he had the best channel this year. Stayed very consistent, and his product remained consistent. His channel remained consistent. I think he has a great channel, man. I watch just about every single video that this guy puts out. He puts out a lot of content all the time. He stays out of, if you noticed, stays out of drama, really does stick to boxing, gives his opinion. And one thing that you got to appreciate about his channel is it gives you a lot of content, but it's very consistent content, right? And that can't be said enough. It can't, right? And this has been a great channel for a while. And I do recommend people to just go ahead and follow this channel. I think this is a great channel, especially, with things getting interesting at heavyweight. A lot of channels, including myself, are kind of talking heavyweights all of a sudden when we weren't really talking heavyweight that much. So that's all I got to say. All right? And that's that. Shout out to everybody, though. Peace.